first thing getting into here, I'm gonna go to controller. You know, obviously I'm on controller, nothing really. My button layout, been playing on tactical button layout. Basically all it does is change your melee and your crouch button. I've been on a tactical layout since Call of Duty 4 back in 2007. Not really much else changed right here in the controller. I do have controller vibration off. You should never play with controller vibration. My sensitivity in this game is 7.7. Next part is my sensitivity multiplier. Nothing really has changed there. My weapon mounting activation is double tap ADS, which some people were asking me out as of recent. And then of course, the next thing here, or the most important thing on this tab, I believe, is the interact/reload behavior. I have mine on prioritize reload. I probably will be changing this once Warzone 2 comes out. Right now during multiplayer, if you don't have it on prioritize reload, you will consistently, and I mean consistently, pick up other guns that you do not want to pick up. So make sure you have it on prioritize reload. It's what I feel, you know, works best for multiplayer. Also, one other thing I forgot here is make sure you turn on automatic attack sprint. Automatic attack sprint is a must. I used to not play with it a few months back. I say a few months, but it's probably been close to a year now. And automatic attack sprint is a game changer. Save your controllers as well. All right, so moving over to the advanced tab of controller. Target aim assist, obviously one on. Aim assist type is Black Ops. This is mostly preference. I do recommend using Black Ops. I've used default in Black Ops, not messed around with precision and focusing, but default and Black Ops is definitely where I want, you know, one of you, or pick between default and Black Ops, whichever one feels better for you. Black Ops feels better for me. It basically aims for you. Aim response curve type is always going to be dynamic. Dynamic is what we played on since the beginning of Modern Warfare 2019. Dead zones is something you're definitely going to want to change here. When inputting your dead zone, your left stick minimum and your right stick minimum need to be taken all the way down. I do believe they start all the way up at 0.15. Take these down so your sticks are much, and I mean much more precise, and they react to actually what you're doing. You definitely want to make sure you turn off parachute auto deploy. Again, this is more of a Warzone setting for the future, but we do use this when we're you know, playing ground war and jumping out of planes and stuff. So that's the controller section. All right, that's the controller section. Let's move on to the next section here in the graphics. So most of this was all set up for my boy Trap. I did change a couple things around, but for the most part, this is what you want to have a good performance, as well as the game not to look like complete crap. So I'm not going to go through each setting here. I'm just going to kind of let you look and let you go through here, just try to understand exactly or be able to see exactly what I'm looking at, or how I'm rocking with the specific settings for graphics. All right, so that's display. Then I'm gonna go over to quality, and this is where you know, some things will differ. If you want your game to look a little bit better, obviously you can have some different stuff on, but for the most part, you always want your render resolution all the way out at 100, and then everything else again is kind of preference. All right, for quality, this is where you definitely want to mix around with, you know, your preference, what you actually think you like, or what, if you want the game to look good, if you want performance, a little bit of mix of both. As I said, that is what mine is. It's a little mix of both. I love the way the game looks, and I have great performance as well. So again, I'm not going to go through everything here. I'm just gonna, you know, scroll down through this pretty quickly so you guys are able to pause the video, check out exactly what I have, and copy these settings. Shout out to my boy Trap. He is the one that set me up for this, or set up most of these. Moving on to the field of view, or the view section of graphics. Field of view is 110. I don't go up to 120. Don't have any interest in it. Always want your ADS field of view to be affected. This is how it feels. You know, it makes it easier. So like better recoil control. It really feels like you have better recoil control with this. This is a new feature right here that is new to Modern Warfare 2. The weapon field view, right? If you read here on the left side, right here next to me, narrow, the weapon looks bigger. Default, the weapon looks as intended. And then wide, the weapon looks smaller. I'm in the business of having as much of my screen open as possible. I got mine on wide. I recommend putting yours on wide. Everything else here doesn't really matter. You can change your third person, you know, stuff. You definitely want, you know, your first person camera movement, your third person camera movement at least as possible. You don't want your screen shaking when airstrikes and stuff are going off. That's that part. Moving on to audio. All right, see, here's what I feel as if works best for me. I feel like I can hear footsteps pretty well. Obviously it's Call of Duty, so sometimes footsteps are a little non-existent. I have home theater on, master volume 90, music down at 20. A lot of people like to have this off. I'm probably going to just go ahead and take this off as well. Dialogue, I have at 50. I'm going to actually bring this down a little bit to 50. My effects volume 90, and then my hit marker volume I'm also going to bring down to about 50. So I'm able to hear some stuff better. Everything else is pretty much preference to your system. Nothing else really in this section. So that is my main audio mix and what I use for my audio. Definitely you want to try that out if you want to hear some more footsteps. Moving on to the interface. This is a couple, really only one thing I want to focus here on the interface. So if you notice when you are playing in game, a lot of the players that you see or the enemy players that you see above them, they have a little red triangle, little red diamond above them, right? And I had a friend tell me to turn the saturation. I actually saw a TikTok about it, but I went to, you go down to enemy. So again, you're in interface, you go down to color customization, you go down to enemy, and on enemy, you take the saturation and you turn it all the way up and you apply. This is going to be able to make you see, or this is going to turn that diamond extremely red. It's going to take all your reds red, like enemy capture the flag or enemy C flag or B flag, whatever it is. If they have a flag, it's going to be extremely red, but I promise you, you'll get used to it and it's worth it. Definitely something I recommend putting on. Everything else doesn't really matter. It's all preference. This is going to be a quick and short video. We're trying to keep it, you know, pretty straightforward and to the point, but everything else is kind of preference. Again, pause the video if you want to see anything specific. And again, if I missed anything, I did go through this very quick. So if I missed anything, make sure you come over to my stream, which is live 99% of the time. I'm probably live right now in the description. There's a link in the description. Stream on Facebook every single day.